Hello. It's been a while. I know that. The main reason for that is that I have been abroad for the past couple months. Since January, a lot has happened. But I will be back on it. I am back on it. We are back on it. The midterms are coming up, and more importantly, we have an election in 2 years, but also the midterms. I guess they're both pretty important. That's my fault. Anyway, we have the midterms coming up. We have a lot of important stuff, but more importantly, we have a president who just cannot stop doing ridiculous things, and I think this is important to point out, but I also think there are revelations that I have made since my last video that are also important to point out, and are important for me to point out. So, the point is, this article is not very important. It just kind of talks about what I wanted to talk about, which is this. The inflation is getting high. Gas prices are getting high. This surprised me. When I left, prices were about $3.50, maybe low threes, $3.50. Now I come back, it's $4.50. And I knew this before I came back, right? Because I'm up to date with news. But I just have to ask, wasn't this not what Trump was supposed to do? Wasn't this not why the country elected him? Didn't the country elect him for the purpose? Oh, well, Biden made the gas prices high, even though they were under $3 by the time Trump went in. Or, oh, inflation was high 3 years ago. Like, this is the thing, right? We look at this graph, right? Basically, after June 2023, when it was 3%, we kind of hovered at about 3% for a bunch of months. And things stayed pretty normal. I mean, obviously, after COVID, we hit a peak, but it went down. It went down naturally. We all saw it. We were all there for it. We all witnessed it. The collapse of inflation. This was not shocking to people. Everyone knew that inflation would go down. It did go down by the time we got to the 24 election, which was here. I mean, obviously a month after, but whatever, right? 2 months after, yeah, whatever. Anyway, by the time we got to the election, inflation was at a normal point again. But you wouldn't have known it if you watched the media, because for some reason, so many people were so allergic to pointing this out. We're allergic. They just say, oh, the economy's good in recovery, not point out the inflation rate is back down to normal. Now point out that gas prices were under $3 again. Because people who are uninformed somehow are still living in 2021, 2022, where inflation was this super high thing. And this is what pisses me off. And obviously, this is if you're not new to this is the Stylist channel. I'm a talker. I like to talk. A lot of the purpose of this is just me getting my personal gripes out of my body, because it's just too much. This is I think what the reality we have to live in, right? Where Republicans get to control the narrative on everything. And then they pretend like they don't. And in pretending like they don't, it allows them to control the narrative more, right? Because the Biden inflation was not a thing after mid-2023, but you wouldn't have known it if you talked to anybody on the street, right? And Trump was going to bring prices down. Although, you think about this, how was he going to do it? What was his plan? He didn't have a fucking plan. Trump had no plan to bring inflation down. The only plan, in quotes, that he had was, well, Biden had inflation high in 2021 and 2022, therefore a new guy must bring it down, which is just stupid. It's just stupid. That's not how it works. And I've gotten to this point where, like, I have to think, like, are people, I mean, the gas prices rose 5.4% last month and are up 30% over the last year. This is the thing. This is the world we have to live in, where people are going to blame the current problems on the current president, and we're going to flip-flop back and forth until something happens. And I am so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of people who don't want to be educated. They don't want to be informed. They want to continue to say, oh, well, prices were high a little bit ago, and because of that, I'm not going to vote for a Democrat. Right? Or, well, Trump's doing the best he can, and inflation is just a product. It's actually Biden's fault somehow that inflation is coming up. No, you know whose fault it is? It's Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump, who is fighting a war in Iran that has cost us $30 billion for the sake of, I don't know, for a random country in the Middle East who has done nothing for us ever, but for some reason we maintain this crazy loyalty to, for some false idea that we need this ally in the Middle East. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous that this has to happen. Right? It's ridiculous that this has to happen. And it's ridiculous that people voted for this. And there's so many times where like you want to be like Trump isn't America. But he is. Trump is 100% what we want in America. Not what I want, but the collective wants. And you know what? It's what the collective deserves. It's not what the world deserves. But sometimes I wonder, I'm like, how people are just, here's the thing. It doesn't take a lot of education to know that Donald Trump is a stupid idiot. Well, he's not a stupid idiot, but he doesn't care about politics. He does stupid things. Although he does do it with a purpose, which is to get more power. Hopefully, with all the stuff that's been happening, the midterms will be good for us, and the election will be good for us in 2028. But it's important to note that I just wonder if that, I don't wonder, I know this is just who America is. America is a country that I think COVID was the final nail in the coffin. COVID was the final nail in the coffin that caused us to seal our fate to be this. Listen, the channel title is Things Can Get Better, and I think they can. But I think in order for things to get better, this is my mission statement. We need to all of us who know the truth need to work together to spread the truth. Some of us, we all disagree. There are a lot of people I disagree with. There are a lot of people who other people disagree with, and a lot of disagreements are more than disagreements. I don't think disagreements on moral things are disagreements. I've cut off or ignored family members for, and mostly friends, because I don't go out of my way to see bigoted family members anyway. But I've cut off friends for this exact reason. For the reason of a difference of opinion, not for this exact reason. I don't know what I'm talking about. For social differences between the way we see things, right? If you hate trans people, you hate gay people, you're racist. I just can't handle that, right? But we may disagree on the type of government we want, on taxation, on whether you're a leftist or a liberal or a moderate or whatever. We have to agree on one thing, which is that people need to become more educated on everything. And I know I rambled. I'm working on it. But I'm going to try to give 2 to 3 videos a week. Just spilling my opinion on stuff. And feel free in the comments to spill your opinion on stuff as well. You know, if you want to join me in just calling out bullshit, because I'm so sick of even meeting people where they are with these arguments. 2024, somehow it was conceded that Trump would be better on the economy. I don't know how, but somehow it happened. And that's unacceptable. That will never happen again. And if we get to a point where that's going to happen, I promise I will stand on the street and shout from the rooftops to make sure people know. We need to get the word out. If you are getting the word out, let me know. And if you want to help get the word out, you can subscribe and like. And tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm not.